Midweek match day action in J1. Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to you from the Panasonic Stadium. It's Gamba Osaka against league leaders Kyoto Sanga, a meeting of two teams from the Keihanshin region. And added to the derby dimension is the status of Kyoto Sanga as J1 table toppers. Cho Kui-jae's team hit top spot following the 2-1 win at Albirex Niigata 10 days ago. And Friday's win over Yokohama FC kept them there. This incredible run of form from a club that has just a single domestic trophy to their name, and that was over 20 years ago, is as impressive as it is totally unexpected. And now the challenge is somehow fighting off numerous challenges, with the top 9 teams in J1 separated by just 6 points right now. Gamba, for their part, have confounded expectations the other way. A record of 6 defeats in 12 matches and just 4 wins runs contrary to the expectation that they would challenge for honours this season. But of course, their current position of 12th would be improved dramatically if positive results could be achieved in back-to-back home matches in the space of 5 days, here against Kyoto Sanga and Saturday at the Panasonic against Shonan Bellmare. We're all good to go here. Rafael Elias has had a spectacular goal-scoring season so far, joint top scorer in J1, and that is part of the reason they are firing on all cylinders as the shock J1 leaders here on match week 13. Takashi Usami, the experienced skipper of Gamba Osaka, he needs to lead from the front. They need an upturn in fortunes as we take a look at the teams. Gamba first, Junichi Mori in goal, ever present this season, so too the full-backs Keisuke Kurokawa and Riku Handa, Fukuoka and Nakatani continue in the middle. Takuma Suzuki is partnered by Makoto Mitsuta at the base of the midfield today to accommodate the return of Captain Osami, who began the FC Tokyo defeat on the bench. Ryotaro Meshiro makes his first start since October on the left of the supporting attacking three, and Deniz Hamet there replaces Issam Jebali as the main striker, still searching for his first Gamba goal in 7 appearances in all competitions since joining from Djurgårdens in Sweden at the start of last month. Today's referee is Yudai Yamamoto, in charge of a Gamba match for the first time since last November's Emperor's Cup final defeat to Vissel Kobe. Supporting him in the VAR cabin are Koji Takasaki and Akihito Kawasaki. Kyoto Sanga's success this season has been in part down to their tactical flexibility and ability to make the most of players by and large who were already here. Sugai, the right back, is the only newcomer to the back line. Shinpei Fukuoka will protect the back four. Up ahead will be Sota Kawasaki and Takuya Yonemoto. Yonemoto there for Taiki Hirato is the only change. Up front, Rafael Elias has been in fabulous goal-scoring form, 8 in 13. Has him level with another Brazilian, Leo Ceará of Kashima Antlers, at the top of the J1 scorers charts. That's 3 goals better off than anyone else. Well, would the real Danny Poyatos please stand up? Gamba 16th in his first year, 4th in his second. But all the progression of 2024 is in danger of being undone. On the opposite bench today is Kwije Cho, the longest-serving coach of any of the J1 clubs on the starting line at the start of the 2025 season. No one quite expected him or Kyoto Sanga to produce what they have done in the first 2 and a bit months of this campaign. Big test today, though. It's always a tough place to come, the Panasonic Stadium. And this is a Gamba team who are fired up and ready to kickstart their season. So we're off and running. Keihanshin Derby Day. Gamba Osaka versus J1 table toppers Kyoto Sanga at the Panasonic Stadium Suita. It's match week 13 of J1, this twisting and turning 2025 campaign unfolding as no one could have predicted. Kyoto Sanga, the 6th team to occupy the leading position in J1 since match week 2. Just 1 defeat in 8 in the league, 8 wins in 10 matches in all competitions. They have been solid and clinical going forward, with Rafael Elias continuing his wonderful start to his Kyoto Sanga career, which began last year. And Gamba, for their part, unsteadied right from the off by that stunning derby defeat to Cerezo Osaka, the very first match of the J1 season, and they were beaten by 5 goals to 2 here, and just haven't had any kind of form since. So Denis Humet trying to involve himself, only a 3rd start for the Turkish, Swedish striker. Essam Jebali, by the way, has dropped down to the bench today as they look for a figurehead for the attack. It's 4-2-3-1, the way Gamba line up. Meshino is coming on the left-hand side with Takashi Usami, the club skipper, and trying to push forward again ahead of the central striker, as he likes to do. Kurokawa, ever present this season, the fullback. That's Ichimori. Nice work. This is Meshino. Has to weave his way infield. There's Takashi Usami. Space for the cross, and lays it up. He's curling a little too far away from Yamashita in the end there. nice idea. Just bent away from the man who wants to stake his claim ahead of Jabali as the first choice striker. He's 28, is Dennis Humet. Joined from Djurgårdens, a Swedish club, at the start of March. Quite a busy globe-trotting season, really. Played Europa Conference League for Djurgården, scored in that competition, and was playing for his Swedish club until at the end of February. Meshino tries to tuck the ball through. Gamba starting very much on the front foot here. It's a scuff clearance by Sugai. Gamba have it back. Meshino involved early on, and then the pass played behind Karakawa. Clearly keen to set this early tempo, Gamba. It's Gamba's 6th home match of the season. Won 3 of them. That's Matsuda. Involvement for Rafael Elias here. And Yanemoto up in support there. And Sugai's header. Gamba have won 3 of their previous 5 here, including the last of those home fixtures 2.5 weeks ago. And goals from Issam Jebali and Ryoya Yamashita. Down Nagoya Grampus. 2 league matches since have produced draws at Yokohama FC, and most recently Friday's stunning late collapse at FC Tokyo. And they conceded all 3 goals in that 3-0 defeat in the last 5 minutes. And some inspired substitutions, by the way, contributed to the way that match finished in FC Tokyo's favour. But all the changes for Gamba have come attack-wise, really. And certainly not across the back 5. It's a Kyoto throw. Sugai attempts to break the lines. Gamba starting today in 14th place in J1. Jury was out really after Danny Poyatos's first season in charge here at the Panasonic Stadium, but seemed to have got the blend right in 2024, 4th, and they will be playing Asian continental competition when the next season starts in August. The calendar has been rearranged in AFC Champions League Elite and AFC Champions League 2. With, of course, one eye on events in Saudi Arabia right now, and the final 4 of AFC Champions League Elite, in which Kawasaki Frontale are involved. Good to have some Eastern Zone representation and amongst the Saudi club dominance. That's the benchmark. That's where these sides want to get to. Kyoto Sanga leading J1 for the first time in their history. It really has been a spectacular couple of months for them. Just the one domestic cup in their history, and that was the Emperor's Cup in 2002 for Kyoto Sanga. Well, a good attacking situation potentially, as dissolves into nothing there. Here's Kurakawa. Usami. Suzuki barged off the ball by Rafael Elias. All the hallmarks here of a full-blooded affair. There's derby element to it from the Kei-Hanshin region. Here's the ball forward, just a little too high for Denis Humet. Quick feet from Rafael Elias, and they've got the Sugai well forward here down the right-hand side. Kyoto Sanga, the two in the box, and Sugai able to pull it back. There's the twist from Taiki Hara. You need Elias in the box. Outside the area there, Matsuda tries to get there. Ahead of Jun Ichimori. Not quite. Taking up a good position there, not scored since last June. Tema Matsuda. The ball just got away from him. $11 goals last year. He was on loan from Cruzeiro, Rafael Elias. And goes on to the 8. So far in J1, 28 appearances, 19 goals. That is some ratio. Gamba a little bit loose there. Might be a chance to clear their lines here. Yamashita moves the ball on. Humet, good ball in, and Usami scores the opening goal for Gamba. It was a precise, well-organised breakaway. Denis Humet down the right-hand side delivered a pinpoint ball in, and club legend Usami breaks the deadlock. Lovely finish there. Angled away from Gakuji Oita, and this is where it all started. A clever little quick ball out, and they were a little bit spread there. The Kyoto Sanga. Humet took up a intelligent position wide right and delivered the cross, which is steered home expertly by Takashi Usami. And a penalty 7 minutes into stoppages to rescue a point against Albirex Niigata. And the captain has his second goal of the season. That is absolutely delightful. Pretty much the perfect finish, really. In off the inside of the post. And Gamba are ahead. Well, he's a club legend, no doubt about it. The player who started way back when in 2009 for Gamba. Played for Bayern Munich during his stint in Europe, came back to play for Gamba for another 4 years, then went back to Germany. Now Humet, oh, very nearly. The doubles Gamba's money. Inside a minute, they are fired up here, the home side. Quick breakaway, and Kyoto Sanga is struggling to deal with the pace right now of Gamba's attackers. And that is not a million miles away from feeding inside that post. Well, he has made a bright start here. Denis Humet needs a goal. Hopeful of it coming today. 28, and there's another country to the list. He's played in France, he's played in Sweden, he's played in Turkey. Former Turkish under-21 international Humet, eligible to play for Turkey and Sweden. 7 matches all in his Gamba career thus far, which has incorporated the first 2 rounds of the J.League Cup. Won both matches, by the way. They're through to the next stage of that competition, having beaten Mito Hollyhock and Kochi United away from home in the first 2 rounds. It's hooked away by Fukuoka, Shinpei Fukuoka. There goes Kyo Sato, left-sided fullback for Kyoto Sanga. Well, longest serving coach in J1. Got a promotion in his first year as Kyoto Sanga boss in 2021. Cho. Mishino. Delayed a little too long. Sota Kawasaki picked his pocket. A slip on the turf doesn't help them out there. It was Yonemoto lost his footing, and there might be an opportunity here. Yamashita just couldn't feed it across to Denis Humet. It's a last-ditch challenge which stopped the danger. And well played, Yoshinori Suzuki. But Gamba are so fired up for this. They look threatening every time they come forward here, the home side. A little bit wayward. Riku Handa should deal with that, indeed does. So Danny Piatos, it's the 3rd year in charge of Gamba. One of 2 Korean coaches, Cho, J1 this season. Yamato. Yeah, all the classic ingredients of a derby. Fully committed challenges and that extra level of application, commitment, controlled aggression that you like to see. Again, players supporting the man in possession. Not that Hando was able to sort his feet out for the final pass. And get themselves in a bit of a tangle there. Ara gives chase. This ball from Fukuoka. This is Rafael Elias. Yeah, 3 around him, just strangling that supply line. Nicely done, Kurakawa. Fukuoka drives it forward. Oh, man, he's proving a real handful. You see why Yuta Yamato there is a little upset that the decision went against him. Nakatani. Ball up and over, Yamashita. Humet goes near post. There is Humet! And that needed defending and was well defended because Denis Humet was hovering with intent there. It's well dealt with this by Yuta Miyamoto. Throwing himself in the way of that. But Humet really causing problems with his movement and application thus far. Gamba Osaka corner. Worked it short. Plenty of options here as Sami was near post. Stubbed away. And caught offside. With the extra intricacy that they tried to bring to that corner. It was the lean, wasn't it? That did for Makoto Mitsuta there. Kurakawa. Meshino. Fukuoka. Osami. Lovely little spin there by Takashi Osami. Suzuki. It's a bit loose. That's two. Is the intervention from Hidehiro Sugai. Reminding us of his qualities again, Takashi Osami, figurehead for the club in more ways than one. Played 2018 World Cup for Japan. Takashi Osami was on the bench in the UEFA Champions League final. 2012 in his Bayern Munich days, and twice an Emperor's Cup winner, won the J.LEAGUE Cup, on J1 for Gamba way back when. A little bit of Kyoto Sanga territory here. Just a little bit missed time. It's going to be a free kick for Kyoto Sanga here. Shimpad. Wasn't quite as much contact as you might have thought from that angle. Sufficient to yield the awarding of the free kick. Riku Handa swiped at the ball there. Kyoto Sato. Kyoto Sanga left back, and player fouled. Midway through the first half here. Kyoto Sanga free kick. How's the delivery? Well, it's flicked on, up and over. Very awkward that for Gamba to deal with. Well, he took up there, Rafael Elias, a really good position on the blind side. The flick over to Elias, nods it across, and that's a little bit unfortunate that it drifts behind Suzuki. Nicely worked free kick though from Kyoto Sanga. And the free kick goes Gamba's way. Need to be right on point here. Yudai Yamamoto, the referee. That's pinpoint from Junichi Mori. Delightful. Karakawa. Michino. First point of the attack there. The goalkeeper's distribution. Suzuki. Handa. And Kyoto Sanga fan out and force the opposition backwards. Bit of a hospital ball that in the end for the backtracking Karakawa. Here's Miyamoto. Miyamoto. Nice spin initially, then to lose his footing. Oh, well played, Yamashita. He's done really well there, Yamashita. Two in the box to aim at. Might wait for Suzuki to try and tee himself up. A bit of a misfire on that attempted volley from Suzuki. But Makoto Mitsuta still has it for Gamba. Meshino. There's a spin from Karakawa, nicely done. Dennis Humet. That first touch lifted the ball up and inadvertently set himself up for the volley there, Humet, but Kyoto Sanga got players in the way. Handa. Usami involved. Mitsuta for Meshino. Good challenge. There's Hara. Elias. Player bombing on in Sugai. Sugai does really well there. And we'll get the return ball as well for white shirts in the area. Well, Elias was the target, but that's Usami getting back to intervene brilliantly. And then runs forward to join the attack. Wonderful from Usami. It's Dennis Humet. Deep into enemy territory and adds the second goal for Gamba. Well, how about that transition again? Much like the first goal, they build from the back rapidly. Humet was out wide on the right for the first goal as the assist provider. And he goes digging for the glory himself for the second and gets the glory. First goal for Gamba Osaka for Dennis Humet, and he's earned that, he's deserved that. And he gets a booking as well for taking his shirt off. Well, how impressive was this? Humet from Usami. The two players conjured up that goal, Usami and Humet. Wonderful finish. Drags the shot past Gakuji Oita. And the J1 League leaders are in trouble. It's a really sweet finish. 14 goals in 25 matches for Djurgårdens before leaving Sweden. The first in Japan. Well, it could be the day that alters the compass on Gamba Osaka's season. Well, likewise, Kyoto Sanga. in different directions. Long way to go yet, but Gamba have been mightily impressive thus far. Kyoto Sanga just haven't been able to live with them. And here comes Denis Sumet again. Mitsuta back onto his left foot. It's Mitsuta. It's charged down. They're hungry and they're determined. And boy, are they lively today, Gamba. Confirmation then of the yellow card for, sort of goes under the broad category of dissent, really, taking his shirt off and celebrating. Midai Yamamoto, the referee, you're no fun. Here's the corner, and it's an easy claim for Gakuji Oita. It really is interesting how Gamba can be like this one week and off the pace the next. Strangely inconsistent. One of the teams that would have been looking at some of the bigger clubs in J1, the more established names, and eyeing up their troubles as Denis Sumet threatens to capitalise on the back pass. It was kind of played behind Yuta Miyamoto, who wasn't as aware as he should have been of the danger. And Miyamoto is caught late by Denis Sumet, who just lets his enthusiasm get the better of him on that occasion, and indeed has to be on his best behaviour from now on. Clearly ramped up and pumped up, and you can understand that, but he's on a yellow card now, and it was a rather unnecessary challenge that on Yuta Miyamoto. And after being trounced here by Cerezo, they then beat Avispa Fukuoka, one of the teams who've gone on to lead J1, then lost against Fagiano Okayama, won the next two, Gamba, away at Tokyo Verdy, and then here against Shimizu S-Pulse, and then were beaten by the Marinos. Of course, the Marinos won an only win, they're bottom of the table. Then there was a 6-goal thriller, 3-all at Albirex Niigata. They then lost the next two, beat Nagoya Grampus, drew with Yokohama FC, and then conceded those 3 goals in the last 5 minutes last week against FC Tokyo. And Suzuki is added to the list of those booked today. It's just a lucky dip with Gamba. You never quite know what you're going to get, but we're seeing the best of them today, no question. Past the half-hour mark here. Gamba 2 up against Kyoto Sanga. There's the Kyoto Sanga set piece. Gamba read it. Mitsuta couldn't clear it. There's the second cross. There's Elias just trying to nod it in the general direction. And it looped over Shinpei Fukuoka in the end. We did lose at the Reds. Their extra match this season. They're on match week 13. They've already played 13 with Kyoto Sanga. There's a match originally scheduled for the start of June. Reds away. It's the one blip we've had since the 9th of March when they were beaten at home by Avispa Fukuoka. Kyoto Sanga. Elias nicks it up and over the top, and there's problems at the back here for Gamba. Sugai nodded across, and it's in off Yonemoto. Well, Kyoto Sanga were persistent there, and they have one back. It's a really cute finish in the end from Takuji Yonemoto. A rare scorer. That is his first league goal since 2020. Takuji Yonemoto. Elias causing the problem, scooped it up and over. I mean, 3-on-1 situation there in favour of Gamba. They ought to have got that clear. They didn't get it clear. And Takuji Yonemoto has his first league goal for Kyoto Sanga. His first for anyone since July 2020, when he was a Nagoya Grampus player. It's made things interesting here at the Panasonic. (2-1), game on. Again, just wonder, I mean, everyone hesitates and delays and thinks, can we celebrate? The spectre of VAR, of course, looming large. Yeah, we're clear. We've got the green light. It was a goal. It is 2-1. Kind of overran the pullback, didn't he? There, Yonemoto. It was Sugai who played the ball into him after Ichimori and the Gamba defence had got that all wrong. So, can they harness this fresh momentum now, Kyoto Sanga? Yonemoto pulls it across. Usami, and then Mitsuta helps out. Yonemoto charging down Karakawa's clearance. Sugai with a throw. Oh, drops into Rafael Elias, trying to turn. Too many bodies in the way. Has another stab at it. And then there's one tumble too many for the referee's liking there. Played it straight at Nakatani, then tangles more than anything with the centre half. All of a sudden it's Gamba seeming a little bit rattled. There's a real crackle to this match though. Wonderful entertainment here in J1. Sato is forward here. And turn back across. Oh, Matsuda did well in the circumstances there. But Ichimori read it. And the pass out isn't good from Riku Handa. Kawasaki. Shinpei Fukuoka. If he can take a leaf out of Yonemoto's book, another without a goal. For literally years, Shinpei Fukuoka. July 2021, his last goal. There's Yonemoto, Miyamoto. Sato just clips that in back behind Taichi Hara. And get the decision for the apparent foul there on Suzuki. Yeah, I think Kyoto Sanga have every right to feel a little bit aggrieved and question that decision.
Ichimori swings that long. Garakawa, Usami, Mitsuta. Yamashita, Panda. The target, mixing it well. Here's Usami for Gamba, who met. Keeps it on his right foot and very nearly picks out the top corner. That's a good save from Gakuji Oita. He delayed an extra beat there. Defenders around him floundering, and he tried to just place it. Good save. A sensible shot as well to get elevation on that attempt from Denis Humet. Gamba looking to get back on top as we head towards the 40-minute mark here. They have a corner. There's a real delightful and enthralling ebb and flow to this one. Corner, outswinger, plenty of blue shirts there. For a throw this time, just a little bit of sting taken out of the attack. Mechino in behind, no flag. Oh, deflection almost broke for him. That spin on the dropping ball took it back into the arms of Gakuji Oita. Otherwise, Mechino might have had a strike on goal there. And Mitsuta wins it back. Quite break there for Kyo Sato. Kyoto Sanga have the joint best. They're winning the sequence away in the division. They've won 4 of 7. Same as Machida Zelvia. 4 on their travels. Setting the recent benchmark of what can be achieved, of course. Go Kurita's Machida Zelvia team, who won J2 2 years ago, led for so long in J1 last season. And they finished at 3rd. They ended with Machida Zelvia, hugely creditable in the circumstances. Only 6 points behind Vissel Kobe. And back-to-back champions at the end of 2024, won the double. Double was achieved with an Emperor's Cup win in the final over Gamba. Going to be a corner here for the home team. Yeah, there's a fresh bounce and a new spring in the step after Kyoto Sanga
Threatened to dominate the latter stages of this first half here, but Dani Poyatos' team still lead. Deep corner that time. Yeah, too much activity, too much grappling. Sort of Kawasaki bundled over. Yep. Well, as he tried to swing around there, Shinosuke Nakatani clearly caught Soto Kawasaki there with his elbow. Kawasaki doesn't want to press charges. I mean, we have had yellow cards, we've had a lot of physicality, but it's been on the right side of the line. It's been a superb match thus far. Yonemoto. Sugai is eager to get forward as ever, taking on Meshino. Usami. Won't prevent the ball from tickling over the line there. Demonstrating once again what a committed part of the Gamba Osaka challenge he is. Takashi Usami leads by example. Fukuoka heals that away. Dennis Humet there, throwing Sugai to the ground. Yonemoto. It seemed to be a foul, but he's let it go and played the advantage there, the referee. Riku Handa comes forward. Have to go short here. Yamashita takes over, back with Handa. Little clip over the top. They couldn't quite keep it going and keep control of the precision of that attack. But again, the idea was just about right from Gamba Osaka. As we move into stoppages here at the end of the first half at the Panasonic Stadium. Improvisation again in Rafael Elias's game. He's got in one or two good positions, but by and large Gamba Osaka have kept him under wraps. They've forced him away from goal. That's the closest he's come really, is providing an assist across the face of goal. That header that was just a little behind Yoshinori Suzuki. Again, a hopeful little ball over caused the panic that led to Kyoto Sanga's eventual goal. A Derby Day win would please the locals. Long ball over the top comes from Miyamoto. And Fukuoka clears it, little nudge down, again they're away, it's Yamashita. Yamashita still, two white shirts around him, and the defenders do their job. Yonemoto, nail from Rafael Elias, is Taichi Hara. Hara, nicely done. And a challenge on Yonemoto. Second ball won by Kyoto Sanga. Last chance to build something before we hear the half-time whistle. And the play, and Sugai shut down.
Fukuoka. And no one committing, no one gambling on the near post run there. This has to be it. Oh no, that is the half-time whistle. A riveting first half, in truth, at the Panasonic Stadium. Takashi Osami and Denis Humet scored goals that propelled Gamba Osaka to what looked like a season-defining, a season-changing result. But then Kyoto Sanga, credit to Coach Cho's team, really dug in and worked hard to try and stop wave after wave of Gamba attacking. In the end, Elias forced the chance. Yanemoto backheeled, and Kyoto Sanga back into the game. And that means that the league leaders are in this match in the Keihanshin derby. But at half-time here, it is Gamba Osaka 2, Kyoto Sanga 1. This is a terrific match.
Welcome back to the Panasonic Stadium, second half incoming here in this Keihanshin derby match. Watching the introduction here of one of the Kyoto Sanga substitutes, Masaya Okugawa coming on as well as well as João Pedro, indeed, as Coach Cho makes a couple of switches at the break. So a different approach here to this second half. Yonemoto, who scored the goal that's got Kyoto Sanga back into it, will play no further part. Another Brazilian on the pitch, Rafael Elias. 3 shots in that first half. And we're underway here. 2-1 is the score. Gamba Osaka leading Kyoto Sanga, who are set right now to slip off the top spot down to 3rd because of results elsewhere. Kashima Antlers right now have gone top. They won 3-0 at Yokohama FC. Kashiwa Reysol 2-1 winners as well. And Gamba set to improve their position. Long way to go, of course, today. It remains to be seen who will set their stall out the soonest here in this second half. It was ebb and flow, it was end-to-end, it was very entertaining in that first 45. As Mitsuta plays in the free kick. Fukuoka will try and retrieve it. There's Meshino behind him, considering he hasn't started for the first time today since October. He's been in the thick of it. Doesn't look sluggish in the least, Meshino. Plenty of able reinforcements on the bench if Gamba need to shore things up in the second half and continue to protect a lead. But Kyoto Sanga haven't quite got it away yet. Nor there with Sato's healed clearance. We're in the Keihanshin region, metropolitan region in Kansai, which is the broader geographical area here in central Japan. We're talking really about the urban, the metropolitan area that incorporates Kyoto, Osaka and Kobe, all cities in their own right, and they give us this rich footballing landscape which contributes so much to the fascination of J1 and the fascination that J1 offers. Rafael Elias has been clipped by the backtracking Takashi Usami. This entire region has a population of nearly 20 million people, which show of Kyoto Sanga, about 40 kilometers north of here. That's where Kyoto Sanga are based, about 40 kilometers west of the Panasonic Stadium. Well, that's where you'll find the home of Vissel Kobe, on the shore of Osaka Bay. Vissel Kobe, as we know, current top dogs. Back-to-back defending champions, double winners last season. So the power base has shifted to this region in terms of the wider footballing scene in Japan. Vissel Kobe not part of the ongoing final series in the AFC Champions League elite in Saudi Arabia. They 2-0 up in the AFC Champions League elite. Last 16, they won that first match 2-0, beaten in the second leg by Gwangju 3-0. Didn't make it to Saudi. Kawasaki Frontale
Yokohama F. Marinos did. The Marinos, despite all their travails at home, beaten by Al Nassr by 4-1 when they got to Saudi. Frontale needed extra time to come past Al Sadd, the Qatari champions. They'll play a semi-final in that competition against Ronaldo's Al Nassr a little later today. Here's the overlapper in Handa. Plays it against Suzuki. And Gamba Osaka, by the way, will play next season in the second tier Asian continental competition, AFC Champions League 2. That's because they finished 4th last year. Gamba corner, near post, it's eluded everyone. And Gamba leg could steer it goalwards. Fukuoka. Hacked out by Yasuda behind him. Here's Yamashita. There's the overload in Humet. Nice check back inside there by Denis Humet. And waits for Meshino. And that was creeping in. Oita had to be vigilant there and steer it round the post. He's had his best match yet. Denis Humet for Gamba Osaka. He just missed a beat and he pulled the ball back inside, waited for Meshino. And shot was on its way. Usami here to take the Gamba corner. Steered in again to the near post. Awkward one to deal with. And swipe at it for Nakatani. Here's Meshino. Shut down by João Pedro. Chance for a breather. 7 minutes into the second half. Sugai, the player trip there. Wants to get forward, Sugai, and down the right-hand side for Kyoto Sanga. Which is fine, as long as the commitment is there to get back in position if the ball is surrendered in transition. 7 shots for Gamba in that first half. 3 of them for Kyoto Sanga. And pressure on Ichimori there. His distribution generally was decent in that first 45. Miyamoto slings it on. Too high for Hara. Pretty even in terms of possession, 51% to 49%. Gamba just about shading that one. There's the throw from Sato. There's Rafael Elias. João Pedro gets involved. Off the bench for the 8th time this season, the Brazilian. One of the newcomers. Another
incoming transfers in the off-season, João Pedro. Sugai, beaten to it by Meshino. Sato. It's Yamashita. Elias. Idea was okay. Only half away. Suzuki. Miyamoto. Kawasaki. Oh, nice ball there. Couldn't quite sort his feet out there. Okugawa, the substitute. I've seen enough. Another change incoming here. So Sato is going to be replaced by Shinosuke Fukuda. Trying to mix it up. And Fukuda on 2 starts off the bench for the 5th time. Actually, normally placed right-sided to Fukuda. To see how they tweak it here. Good spell this for Kyoto Sanga. And yeah, Sugai's come over to this the left-hand side. Fukuda has moved to the right. A switch that he has made on occasion this season, and started Sugai occasionally on the left-hand side as well. Coach Cho. Nice positive change here, just to affect the balance here in this second half at the Panasonic Stadium. Handa. And he falls back to Junichi Mori here. Up and over came from Fukuoka. Hatani gets it away. João Pedro, nice little change of direction there. He's got physicality about him, João Pedro. Rangy stride. Clip forward for Hara. He's forced out of it and elbows over the defender. Taichi Hara. That physicality. It's the tallest of the starters, Taichi Hara. 1.91 m. But unfortunately a little bit cumbersome there as he throws down his opposite number. Back-to-back derby matches for Kyoto Sanga. They play Cerezo next at the weekend. Quite a week for them, but it's tough at the top. Big matches. Week in, week out. When everyone's trying to take them down, that's the extra element. They're looking to force an equaliser here. Going to get one there with Okugawa, a substitute, but he's got himself in some useful positions. Masaya Okugawa scored in his last 2 matches off the bench. Masaya Okugawa looking for the triple today. 4 goals all season. Used off the bench today for the 8th time. Meshino. Here's Kurakawa. Kurakawa still going, risky manoeuvre. Dipping that head and driving forward, but make sure you don't lose the ball. Drove home the
second goal against Cerezo. 5-2 Tonking here on day one. Kazuki Kurokawa. Yeah, they're on the front foot here. He's making another switch here. Chokui J really going for it just when they're on top, looking to consolidate. João Pedro. Here's Fukuoka, a good ball to the far side. Playing Fukuda there. Yeah, there's a problem with Suzuki. That's Fukuda, who slipped and lost his footing and carried through. Suzuki, ultimately it's an opportunity just to take on board a little bit of instruction. Shinpei Fukuoka is replaced here. Plenty of time still to change the outcome. Hirato steps in, and there's the one change. He started the match against Yokohama FC. 28-year-old. It was actually the first time he dropped out of the starting 11 this season against Yokohama FC. Taiki Hirato. Chance to make an impact here. Well, Kyoto have done well in establishing themselves as the dominant force in this second half. Trying to force it, trying to make the running. Ume feeding off scraps largely. There's Fukuda. João Pedro. Hirato. Yeah, a lot of players providing attacking options here for Kyoto Sanga. Yuki plays it in, and Hara just couldn't again turn and spin and do what he wanted to do. Sugai, crossing chance, that's disappointing. He might have been hoping that a player in the middle would have met it. He's going to get another chance by the looks of things here. Hidehiro Sugai, I'm sure. João Pedro, there's the cross, looking for the player on the far side there. Miyamoto here with the throw. João Pedro. And again. Sugai. João Pedro, pass round the corner. Hirato let him down a bit there. João Pedro takes over. It's pushed through there for Taichi Hara. Well dealt with there by Fukuoka. Yeah, and playing more centrally now with Taichi Hara. Again, there's a lot of him to deal with. The gangly Hara. I'm just trying to wrap his left boot around that. Well defended Fukuoka. Another Kyoto Sanga set piece. Rafael Elias here with the corner. Drives it in low. Oh, it's a really cheeky delivery that. It's poked over finally by João Pedro. It took them all by surprise. He drills that low, cutting those daisies into the pack. And a couple of awkward touches on the way through. Teed up kind of inadvertently there by Okugawa for João Pedro, and it just kicks up a little too high for him. First change for Gamba Osaka here, and it's going to be Shukarata and Meshino. First start since last October, only his second appearance of the season, so his race is run today. Shukarata, the 36-year-old veteran, former Japan international, the man whose Gamba career started the best part of 2 decades ago, comes on for the 6th time this season. It's his 414th appearance in a J1 for Gamba, for Shukarata. But a room maybe for Suzuki to move it on. And Suzuki does well. And Karata has the option straight away. And João Pedro, he's dispossessed. And the pass up and over for Denis Humet. A different kind of half, hasn't it? This one for Gamba Osaka. Humet just hasn't had anything like the kind of possession or the room or the space or the service since half-time. You got to credit It's Cho, but altering the tempo in Kyoto Sanga's favour here in the second period. And he's been a big part of that, João Pedro. Kyoto Sanga, 4 relegations, 4 promotions in their time, just flitting in between the top 2 divisions in Japan. Won the Emperor's Cup in 2002, beat Kashima Antlers that year. Here's the layoff. One-touch stuff doesn't quite work out that time for Kyoto Sanga, who have been semi-finalists in the Emperor's Cup in 2 of the last 3 seasons, including last year. They were beaten by Vissel Kobe, their close rivals. Kobe went on to beat Gamba in the final. All Kei Hanshin affair in the latter stages of the Emperor's Cup in 2024. And a lot more exciting this match than last season's encounter, which finished goalless here. And it was 2-2 at the Sanga Stadium. Rafael Elias scored twice in that match. Kawasaki falls back to Kakuji Oita. Mitsuta moved it on quickly. Yamashita, well challenged through the middle. It's back to Oita. Sharp defending that from Kyoto Sanga. Hara. Came a little behind Hara, but this is a sign of the way things have gone in the second half. Gamba looking nothing like as comfortable on the ball. It's all reactive here, and they're giving it back to Kyoto Sanga at every opportunity. João Pedro is Yutami Yamata. Fukuda for Kawasaki. João Pedro steps in. Kurokawa is brought down, just brings the momentum back under the control of Gamba. João Pedro again. Moved forward by Fukuda. Pressure on the ball though from Gamba. Yamato. Fukuda. João Pedro. Sugai is the target, and Handa read the danger. There's a lot of work to do here. The ball's still in play. Elias picks it up. The white shirts forward. Elias, oh, it's a clever ball across. And that's well played there by Junichi Mori, because Taichi Hara was poised and ready. And two players poised and ready to come on as well off the bench for Gamba. Not while Kyoto have possession. Well, the chance goes again. Elias, clever little lift over the top that created the pandemonium that ultimately led to Yanemato's finish in the first half. He almost did the same again there. So now we're going to see changes. Takashi Usami volleyed in the splendid opening goal. And Dennis Humet steered home a finish for his first goal for Gamba, which put them 2 up. And both are disappointed. Yeah, it's nothing like the first half performance from the Turkish-Swedish strikers. So Issam Jebali and Juan Alano, two of the players that dropped out of the starting team today, will finish here against Kyoto Sanga. Alano, left-hand side of the supporting three behind Issam Jebali. He's had 1 or 2 injury struggles this season. Jebali, a Tunisian World Cup player, the 3rd year in Osaka. He's got 4 goals this season. Jebali, The last of those, and the 2-0 winner of Nagoya Grand Prix here, 13th of April. And there he is, trying to get on the end of the pass as well, which just had a little bit too much traction. And rolled on through to Akuji Oita, and his immediate contribution is to find himself in Yudai Yamamoto's book here. Yellow boots and a yellow card. Time to make an impact though. Last quarter of an hour plus stoppages. Hara. An awkward contact there by Taichi Hara. Alano. Ball still in play. Hirato. Hidehiro Suga. Taichi Hara. Suga on the overlap. João Pedro. Hirato. Stretch Gamba. Fukuda. That's a useful cross by Fukuda. Well defended. Slung away by Alano. And come back to Oita. Need to keep this tempo up. Kyoto Sanga. Here's João Pedro. Yamashita benefits from the turnover. It's very much like the final roll of the dice here from Coach Cho. João Pedro getting a little animated and frustrated. Yamashita is always going to leverage that contact. Always busy, always an attacking threat, Yamashita. Seto Kawasaki is replaced here by Murilo Costa, keeping up the Brazilian representation amongst the Kyoto Sanga ranks. Hasn't started a match, it's his second year in Kyoto for Murilo. Off the bench now for the 11th time, previously with Gil Vicente, Mallorca, the Iberian Peninsula, for Braga as well, off the bench for the 4th time this season. There's the Gamba free kick, it's pinged in deep, right to left, and they will get a corner ball out of that. Mitsuta just got everything behind that free kick, slung it deep, get it in there and See what happens. Corner, not a bad outcome. Here comes the delivery, that's useful. Between them, defender and goalkeeper got it away, but vulnerable to the second ball here. Rafael Elias tangling with Jun Alano. Alano does well. And then rolls it ahead of Nakatani. All Brazilian battle here. Ouch. By the goalkeeper. I just wonder if the Gamba leg hadn't hooked it clear. It might have been a whistle there. And a free kick for the home side. Don't need it right now. And ball's out of play for a Gamba throw. And 90 minutes are up. 5 minutes will be bolted onto the back of them. Derby day defeat looms for Kyoto Sanga. And a tumble from the top of the table. There's Issam Jabali. Backs to the wall stuff, largely speaking, in the second half from Gamba. Haven't threatened in anything like the same kind of dimension that they did in the first half when Asami ran the show and Dennis Humet pulled the Kyoto Sanga back line all out of the place, all out of shape. And created opportunities for himself, created opportunities for others. It won't really matter if the second half performance has been so tepid, if they can see it out and if they can get this win. Jabali, in no hurry. Hirato scrambled it clear. Here's João Pedro, but it's given away. Kurokawa still going strong. Kasuke Kurokawa just gave himself too much to do. Yeah, ran out of room ultimately there. Impressive pace and energy and dynamism at this late stage from the fullback. Yeah, Sugai, they have to launch it surely. Miyamoto. Here comes the long ball. Too high even for Hara. Up and over from Miyamoto, nodded down, too far ahead there of the onrushing player Suzuki. There's the centre half just added to the attack here for the final throws. Hard fought. There's a bracket into which this one falls for the Gamba Osaka. They needed to show Dani Piatos that there was steel there, and they're so close to doing exactly that. 3 minutes to the extra 5 are up. Jabali proving a nuisance. There's Sugai again, thrusting it long. Good as any option they have right now. Kurokawa, that's a little bit awkward. Hara is there, able to nod it down. Another wild swipe at it by Mitsuta. And Sugai challenged by Jabali. Usami got the party started. Hermet brought a little bit more entertainment when he joined. Kyoto Sanga right now want to spoil it all. There's the corner. Very deep there. They got Oita up as well. The goalkeeper got into the mixer. And there's Hirato. Inside the last minute of stoppages now. Ball up and over the top. Well taken down by Hirato. Cross into the near post. Terrific defending. And then Hara with the follow-up attempt, which was blocked, but the better chance there was the defensive challenge to stop Rafael Elias in his tracks. Hirato does wonderfully here. And then just look at this across. That's superb defending. And he takes a whack as well there from Rafael Elias. Katani, fantastic points-saving challenge there, just to deny Rafael Elias. I think he'll remain as joint top scorer. Leo Sierra not able to find the back of the net for the Antlers, but that's about the only personal plus point for Rafael Elias, largely shackled. I mean, it's when he tried to force openings for his colleagues from a little deeper that he looked most effective today, the Brazilian striker for Kyoto Sanga. Gamba Osaka all ready to celebrate a dramatic and hard-fought and very, very welcome Derby Day win. And Rafael Elias, well, ending the match limping, and is probably representative of the way Kyoto Sanga are feeling as a club right now. Will they be able to recover in the next instalment of Derby Day shenanigans against Arezzo at the weekend? As here at the Panasonic, they just come up short. Jabali, anywhere will do. It's going to be a throw here for Kyoto Sanga. We're a minute and 20 plus past the extra 5 minutes now. Now or never for Kyoto Sanga. Miyamoto slings it into Hara, who at least gets the flick on, and they stop it, reaching Rafael Elias again. And it's up to Issam Jabali, who spins away from Miyamoto. Fukuda covering, and he tidies up, and the game is up for Kyoto Sanga, who tumble off top spot in J1. Gamba Osaka win the derby here. Takashi Osami was inspirational in his time on the pitch, and he scored the opening goal, which was supplemented by Denis Hermet's sharp finish. His first goal, full stop for Gamba Osaka. Takuyi Yonemoto pulled one back, and it was finally poised at the break. 2-1 was the score. And although Coach Cho's team made most of the running in the second half, they just couldn't break Gamba down. It was a good day for Gamba, this inconsistent team. You never know what you're going to get from Danny Poyatos' side, but today was the best of it. And who knows, maybe they can kick on and try and emulate last season's heroics. Certainly it will lift the mood in these parts. Gamba Osaka 2, Kyoto Sanga 1, Kyoto off the top. Well, no further goals for Rafael Elias's tally. He works hard for the team. It was that man there, still going strong. Takashi Usami, who led the way in more ways than one, and
I mean, Dennis Hamet as well, a season-changing performance from him, an assist and a really good goal. Maybe they can kick on now. You just never know with Gamba. You just never really know. The next opportunity is Shonan Belmare here. They have a lot of confidence. It's a lift in the mood after the concession of those late goals against FC Tokyo last week. Bounce back with a win. If they can do the same against Shonan Belmare, it'll be 20 points, and the whole situation won't seem so bad after all here as we approach the 3-month mark here of the J1 season. Kyoto will rebuild and refresh themselves and plunge themselves into another emotional derby challenge.
さあこちらにはガンバ大阪、本日1ゴール1アシスト、デニス・フメット選手です。まずは今の率直な気持ち教えてください。
Now, of course, we take 3 points, and like you say, I scored my first goal in this fantastic stadium in front of our supporters, so I'm really happy.
実際にやはり今日勝ち点3取れて、でこのファンタスティックなスタジアムでファンタスティックなサポーターの前で